morning. Glad that you're here. Welcome to Keys. We are thankful that we had the opportunity to come together most every Friday. And then the third Friday of the month, we go to a restaurant. You know all that. But welcome. We're glad that you're here. I was just in Atlanta, Georgia, for our national gathering from Monday through yesterday. And the deep freeze hit that part of the South. And I procrastinated. I didn't get into the conference hotel in time. And so I had to book my hotel outside, and I'm thinking it's going to be cold. I packed all my warm clothes from Vermont, and I know how to layer. And I'm thinking so I'm ready. I got there, the Hilton was across the street, and there was a sky bridge. And the sky bridge was heated, and so I never walked outside. I never walked outside. The whole time, well, maybe a little bit of the time I was there, but the restaurants were even connected to the hotel through another sky bridge on the other side that was an indoor mall kind of a place. So I was prepared, but I didn't need to be. But I don't know that I would have wanted to be walking around it, because it was in the mid-20s in the morning. I don't know if it got up over 40, but 40 is warm, right? Yeah, but I'm glad to be home. We had a direct flight from Atlanta to here yesterday on Southwest. On the way out, we had to go through Dallas, and I don't enjoy flying. I endure it, but didn't have any problems. So glad to be home again. And there is a table tonight at the dinner for the Z-Talks that is designated for Keys folks. I think we have 4 people signed up. 8 altogether now. Wow. So, but it's not too late to get involved with the Z-Talks tonight and tomorrow. Sunday will be from the Z-Talks. Yeah, somebody should tell you who really knows. Yeah, Ellen Fraser, but 6 to 8. And the topic, do you remember the topic? It's something about connecting to the world. I should know this, but my brain is catching up from being away. So that's tonight and tomorrow, and then he'll be speaking. Yes, there's combined services at 9:30 and 11 in the sanctuary. Trying to remember the speaker's name. Yeah, anyway, that's happening this weekend, and certainly it's never too late to get involved in these things. And so hopefully if you're available, if you can't be here tonight, tomorrow, make sure that you're here on Sunday. Sure it will be good. So today, and the sign-ups are out here. The sign-ups aren't in the walkway because there is a memorial service today for Raymond Olivio. And how many knew Raymond? Raymond is a sweet man, very sweet man. I saw him on Friday. Saturday. And he wasn't responsive on Friday when I was with him. But he was the guy who drove the orange Firebird. Do you remember that? There was often an orange Firebird parked in the front lot here, and that was Raymond's car. And Bob said that he rode with him several times, and that was a challenge. He described it as white knuckle rides. But Raymond he was always committed to our church, committed to praying for us, and always a joy to be with. So that's why the sign-ups are in here, and that's the service that is today. But the sign-ups are there. Make sure that you take advantage of that. Our birthday lunch is going to be at Stoneworks. I went to the Menger and found out that they don't do their buffet during the week. And so they've kind of backed off on that. But we could do a group, plated lunch in a room, and they never really sent me the prices, but I'm expecting that would be an expensive deal. So we opted as a committee to go after Stoneworks, and we like Stoneworks, don't we? It's a great place. So that will be, make sure that you sign up for that. Okay, let's get moving because I'm being too wordy this morning. Yeah, that's fun. And if you park in the wrong place, you might get a longhorn's horn in through your window. Have you ever been to Fort Worth for the Stampede? It's like five livestock. That's a stamp. And then, so here it's huge. I mean, it's not huge, but I mean it's 25, 30 or more. And cowboys on horses, and it happens right. Where am I? Right out there, on the road outside our church. So, okay, let's get going. I'm taking way too much time here. We have walked alongside Robynn in her journey. I think that her surgery was on a Friday, and we prayed with her. And she is ours because we get her every Friday as a tech. And she's doing well. For those of you who don't know Robynn, she has had a liver transplant and is coming along very well. So I'm going to ask her to come and introduce our speaker.
Hi, everyone. How are you? So just a quick update. Yeah, on Monday, it was February 2nd, which was my second-year anniversary of my liver transplant. And so everything's going very well. Adriana, you had asked me a couple things that had changed last time, so now 2 years later, I have an update for you. I can't have grapefruit or pomegranate, darn it. No buffets, no food trucks, and no sushi. But other than that, life is pretty normal. I just take my medicine in the morning and in the evening. And so we have a celebration lunch from this side, right? But then what we have to think about is there's a family on another side. And we have the family of my donor here today. And I'm going to read his letter first, and then I'm going to bring him up. But on August 11th of 2025, I got a call from the liver clinic. And they said, we received a letter from your donor's parents, and we wanted to know if it's okay if we send it over. It does have their name on it and their address. And I said, absolutely, please send it over. trying to find a way that I could write a letter to him or to them and let them know my story without including God in it, because that's what Tosa asks you to do, is not to mention any sort of reference to faith. And my story can't be told without faith. It's an entire faith journey. But I do want to let you know that he wrote me a letter, and so I'm going to read that to you right now, and I'm going to introduce you, okay? I really don't know how to start this letter, but I will give it my best shot. I am Harlan Williamson. I'm the father of Liam Williamson, who has donated the organ you received. First, I think it is a beautiful thing that you can live a fuller and hopefully healthier life. Liam was a very strong young man that became so good at video games and guitar, he surpassed me within 2 weeks. He could listen to a tune and be able to play it back perfectly. Liam was also an excellent marksman. I myself taught him marksmanship by the best. It was the ROCTC camp, and thought it would be good father, son, and daughter exercise to do with my children. My daughter was the ROTC champ and the first female to beat the all-male competitors ever. Liam taught as well, and he picked it up much faster than Jordan and was almost a prodigy at the range. Liam also liked to shoot skeet at the range and was very proficient on just the first day. He was simple in life and did not like anything fancy. He was a meat and potatoes kind of guy. He was also very humble in every aspect of his life, almost to his own detriment. He never liked people telling him how good he was at doing anything because of his amazing humility. He liked YouTube and playing games, but was partial to his guitar. He was very protective of his sister. I can remember once on the playground, he intervened when an argument broke out between my daughter and another child. He was only 3 to 4 years old, but was going to defend his sister from a much older and larger child. I was so proud of him, seeing his behavior. I was sure that he would be there for his sister well into his adulthood. But God had other plans for my little boy. He was a hero of sorts in life, and clearly a hero in his death. I hope you live a long and fruitful life and enjoy every moment. Life is such a precious thing and also very fragile. I hope you accomplish many amazing things, and remember that someone gave you not only an organ, but the strength of Liam that flows through it. May God continue to bless you all your days. Harlan Williamson. Please give him a warm round of applause.
Hello? Is it working?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Hi, I'm Harlan Williamson. I'm a registered nurse. I am a supervisor for a psychiatric facility in Mandeville, North Lake Behavioral Hospital in Mandeville. I deal with people that are suicidal. I've dealt with people that are homicidal, bipolar disorder, schizophrenia, any number of things are been very proficient with over the last 10 years. She asked me to come here today to speak about the gift that Liam gave and stuff. But I also wanted to make sure during this that we understand some things that go on in our families that need to be addressed or need to be looked at or need to have some sort of intervention to prevent people from taking their lives. I work with a bunch of great people who struggle every day to help people like that. But I think you had some questions that you wanted to ask me.
I did. I wanted to ask you if you wanted to start by just telling us who Liam was as a kid.
Well, you can see on the up here who Liam was. He, like I said, was a meat and potatoes kind of guy, nothing fancy. He got interested in just a few things, and you had to pull him away because he wouldn't try anything new. You know, spaghetti and meatballs, but, you know, don't add no cheese, just spaghetti and meatballs. You know, he was, you couldn't compliment Liam. Even as a child, if you try to compliment him on something, he would stray away from it. He was so humble that it actually hurt him sometimes. He did so many things very well, shockingly well at times that I just had no words for it, and I knew I couldn't compliment him because it would just drive him away, you know. So he was a humble person.
And let's go ahead for the group that may or may not know. Can you tell us a little bit about Liam's death?
This morning, excuse me. This morning I got on my knees in the bathroom in the hotel, and I prayed to God. I said, God, when I talk about this, will you please let me speak with grace and not let me say anything harmful to anyone else? Enough harm has been done already. So basically, what happened with Liam is two things, two horrible things. We've all heard of ghosting, right? Do you know what ghosting is? If you don't, raise your hand. Ghosting is like where someone takes you and they put you out of their life and they cut off all communication with you. They cut off their Instagrams and their Facebooks and all this stuff, and they just pretend like you don't exist anymore. When Liam was 17 years old, I took him home Christmas Eve because he had promised to stay the night on Thanksgiving so we could wake up Christmas morning and open presents. An argument ensued, not with me, but between the people that they were on the phone with, and I wound up taking him back home to his mom, and I dropped him off at the house and I left. I never expected that would lead to 5 years of ghosting. I wrote many letters. I went through the friends. I asked their friends on Facebook. I even had my girlfriend Vicky send messages through Facebook and other stuff to social media to try to contact him. Nothing ever came from it. I never heard. It was like almost like he didn't exist anymore, you know? And then I like to talk about, I want to talk about this so y'all understand the harm that things like this cause. All right, so I started getting letters from a hospital with bills that I'd never been to. They didn't say what it was for, and I got concerned. And I thought to myself, surely if something's wrong, bad wrong, you know, they're going to call me and let me know that my child needs help. They're going to say, look, Harlan, we really need you to come into this. This is what's going on, and we need you to be part of this. And I said, certainly, because, of course they will. And then more bills came, and I got my girlfriend and other people to try to contact them. I was concerned. And I said, well, maybe he just has a little depression, or maybe there's something wrong. Maybe he's having his back looked at, or something. I don't know, because it didn't specify. And then one day as I was going out to work, I said, Vicki, please send Jordan, my daughter, one more message and just see if we can get a response. I'm just concerned. And Jordan responded. And she called me and she told me everything, that Liam had been admitted in and out of psychiatric facilities. He had been placed on psychotropic medications. He had been cutting himself. He had already attempted to hang himself once before. He had been seeing therapists and doctors. And I just broke down. And because it's the first time I was talking to my daughter in 5 years. And the first thing I hear is that he's been going through all of these trials and all of this amazing trauma that's going on in his life, and I wasn't part of it. I had absolutely zero idea that my son needed help. So had been ghosted. When you're ghosted, you become very anxious and you become very desperate. Because once people come back into your life, you're like, oh, I don't want to mess anything up because I'm going to lose my family again. They're going to ghost me again. I'm not going to have any communication. Oh my God, I can't. So you just try to be as calm as you can and just deal with it. And my daughter told me, she says that he's out of the hospital now, he's doing much better, and he's stable. And I said, oh, great. Now I'm just going to take a little time. It's been 5 years already. I'm just going to take it in there. I don't want to rush in there and put him back into a situation where he gets depressed or anxious or anything. But 2 or 3 weeks later, I had just worked the night shift at the hospital. I'm the night supervisor for the entire hospital. And I got a banging on my door. It was probably 10 or 11 o'clock in the morning, and it was my daughter's fiance. And he said, there's been an accident. And so I went to where they had him. I walk into the emergency department, and I see this tall, really, really thin, bearded man. It was my son. I knew that it was Liam, but it was like I didn't recognize him because the last time that I had seen him, he was 17 years old. Now he's 22. So I asked the doctor if I could look into his eyes, and she told me the method of which he took his life, which was by hanging himself with a belt off the back of a bunk bed. So, excuse me, I'm sorry. Anyway, so that was, I'm in the emergency room and I'm looking at him and they have him on life support. And I asked to look into his eyes. God, let me tell you guys, he had these beautiful, beautiful blue eyes. I don't know if you can tell from the pictures, but they were these bright blue eyes. And I shined a light into his eyes and I could see these beautiful eyes and nothing was happening. And I knew at that moment that he had his body alive with life support, but Liam was gone. Liam was gone. And now here we are. Liam was a very humble person. He was an organ donor. He gave life to many people. So far, I know he saved 2 people's lives with his organ donation, and that's really the gist of it. That's the short story. Of course, you know, there's a lot of emotional intake and a lot of things, but I prayed to God this morning, would just please let me just be gracious and kind, because, I mean, this kind of trauma hurts many people. You know, suicide doesn't affect just that person. It affects generations of people. Okay? And keeping a secret. Let me ask anybody, does anybody ever kept a secret that felt good? What do secrets do to you? They put weight inside of you. They put hate inside of you. And they even kill. They're deadly. When we ghost people or when we knock people out of our lives, what we don't realize is that we're not just knocking that people out of our lives. We're knocking out resources that someone may need. If you stop talking to someone, you take away that resource. I don't understand why people just can't forgive one another. Why can't we just say, you know what? I'm sorry I stepped on your toe, but can you please forgive me? I have difficulty understanding why people can't do that. Because when you start doing all this ghosting, it's like you're not alive anymore, you know? And it takes away the resources that could have possibly saved people's lives, like my son. At the end of the day, I lived with the guilt that I didn't know he was ill. And I didn't know he needed help. And I feel if I had just known, maybe I wouldn't be standing here today. But who knows? Maybe he would have anyway. Maybe he would have taken his life anyway. Maybe not. You know? All I know is I feel this insider me guilt that even though he gave life to people, he saved people's lives, that was my child. Some would say he was going to do that anyway. Well, you don't know that. He could have took a left down the street rather than a right and would be here today with me. You don't know that. And some say, well, he's an adult. Well, a lot of you have adult children. Does that mean they're no longer your children? Right? Does that mean that you don't love them anymore? Would you care that they're 23 years old? You would still want to help them, wouldn't you? Do they ever become not your children? When does that happen? I need to know when that happens. Does anyone have an answer for that? No one. So that's basically my story. Thank you.
Harlan, I want you to talk about, there was a very special moment in the hallway of the hospital. Can you talk about that?
You know, I've been proud of my son many times, but the proudest I have ever been of him, where I felt like that I could hold my shoulders back, it was the most amazing thing. As we were leaving the hospital and completed the organ donation with Louisiana Organ Procurement, LOPA, and we were walking down the hallway, and all the nurses and all the doctors and all the therapists, the people that swept the floor, everybody was up against the wall, and they were standing back, and they were just standing straight forward, and they were honoring my son coming down the hallway. Vicky says she's seen people crying because of what he had done, because of the gift that he was about to give. And it made me feel so proud that I walked in front of his bed as they pushed him down this long hallway, and I'm just looking at all these people just looking straight forward, like they're honoring what he's doing, like they're it's almost like a military funeral where they're standing and saluting, but they're just standing there. Everybody was quiet. Yeah. It was a beautiful moment. I felt really proud of my son at that moment.
Are there any other stories about Liam that you'd like to share with us?
There's hundreds of stories, but there's one on the thing right now, just so happens. Liam loved animals. It didn't matter what kind it was. He had a love for animals, and the reason he loved animals was because of the genuine innocence that they provide. You know, that I guess they give love back. They don't require anything in return. He was an animal lover. He loved his puppies. He was a gentle soul, very gentle.
So Harlan has graciously said that nothing is off limits as far
No,
as
look.
questions you may have.
Absolutely. Can y'all hear me good? Okay. Yeah.
And so I wanted to open it up. We've got some time here for anybody who may have a question.
Anything, it doesn't matter. There is nothing I fear at this point in my life. So go ahead.
Harlan, what has been helpful for you as you work through your sense of guilt, as you said, and as you described it? What has been helpful for you?
A memory. The number one thing, my mother, she can be so wise sometimes that it really just makes you wow, you know. My mother, when Liam was in the hospital on life support, she got to the hospital with my two adopted brothers, and they showed up. They got her to the hospital, and she didn't walk up to me and say, "Oh, Harlan, I love you. I'm so sorry this happened to you." She didn't say, "Mama's here. Don't worry, everything's going to be okay." She walked up to me and put her hands on my face, my cheeks on either side, and she turned my face looking at me, and she said, "NYF." And I'm like, "Mom, what are you talking about?" She says, "Turn here, not your fault. Not your fault." And I know it's not, but When something like this happens, you dig for anything to just blame yourself for. You dig in there and you look for something to feel, because you're looking for an answer as of why. We talked about that earlier, about why. Why? So you look to blame yourself. Is there anyone else? Anything, it doesn't matter. I am open.
Don't be shy.
No, don't be shy, please.
Not only is he a father who went through
Because y'all have family members that may be going through things, okay? And when someone is suicidal, you go to the top of the highest mountain with the biggest bullhorn and you scream, I need help. If they say, I don't want a doctor, or I don't want mom to know, or I don't want dad to know, if you tell them, I'm going to kill myself. If someone says that they're going to kill themselves for any reason, does everybody agree that they're not mentally stable? So why would you give them a mental health decision? That's like giving a 3-year-old a loaded pistol. Say, I know you want to play with this, but don't pull the trigger. You got to treat suicide with complete 100% certainty. You leave no stone unturned. You look for help everywhere. And you don't ever, ever, ever keep it a secret. Yeah?
I'll ask another one if I get a second chance.
Sure.
So are there very many people, is it common for people like yourself, for the donor's family, to contact the recipient? Is that encouraged? And what was that process like for you? Was it healing? Was it helpful?
That's a really good question. It was brought up by LOPA, and they said the opportunity to reach out to the donors. I guess I wanted to know that who Liam was helping. I wanted to know whose life he was saving. I didn't want to say, I need your thankfulness. I need you to be thankful. I don't need that. I just needed to see that my son helped someone in life, because my son was a hero. I mean, there is no greater gift that you could give when you're giving organs to people. His response when he was asked that question was, well, I'm not going to need them. That's what he said. I'm not going to need them. I mean, so why not, you know? Anybody else?
How is your relationship with your daughter?
My relationship is much better now. Since she started talking to me again, I have a grandchild named Delilah. And when she smiles, she looks just like my daughter did when she was a baby. Of course, after being away from your family for so long, it takes time to heal things. Anybody else? He was 22 years old. He was 22 years old. Anybody else? Yes, ma'am.
And on Wednesday night, we have a crisis file for each of the families that are dealing maybe with suicide. And we have some instructions that if they realize that their loved one is thinking about it, that it's okay to ask them, you know, do you have the means? And why are you thinking of this? Bring it out in the open instead of being afraid that you will cause it by talking about it. And also make sure that you're with that person and get help right away. Don't leave them alone and isolated so that they think about it. But it's so prevalent all over and nobody talks about it.
I want to, though. I want to talk about it because suicide has just like jumped so high since COVID. It's like we're getting people in. Everybody's suicidal. Everybody's saying, I want to take my life, or I'm going to do this, or homicidal, or whatever. But you can't keep these things a secret, because when you keep them a secret, you're limiting them to resources that they need. Someone that says, I'm going to kill myself for any reason is mentally unstable. For any reason.
You said something last night that stuck with me. You were talking about why, after the first time, did he have a belt? why did he own a belt anymore? That's when it comes into having the resources that
I can't put a logical reasoning to that. I wasn't involved, so if someone was hanging themselves with a belt, they wouldn't have a belt. They would have a bed on the floor and they would have the door off the hinges. Okay? If someone says, I'm going to kill myself, I'm calling the police. I don't care if it's the 5th time this week. We're going to have you put somewhere. I'm going to reach out to every single resource I can. I'm going to go down and I'm going to overturn every rock, everything to find you help. Everything. When someone's suicidal, it is an emergency. You have to take it seriously, and it cannot be kept a secret. Secrets are hard, secrets cause pain, and secrets kill. All right. Anybody else? Thank you. Does anyone else have any questions? I'm more than happy to answer them. It doesn't matter. You're not gonna disturb me or make things worse.
Are there any lawsuits against this ghosting or whatever?
No.
Because, people are suing.
I understand. But enough pain has been caused already. Enough damage has been done already. What happened to Liam cannot be undone. You understand?
Were you always a psych nurse, or did that come more at the ghosting process?
No, I never wanted to be a psych nurse. I never wanted to be a psych nurse. I was an oncology nurse. I gave chemotherapy at a hospital. I worked on a unit where, a lot of people passed away. I got into psych because I had this friend that said, hey, why don't you try this old hospital? It's old North Lake Hospital down there in Mandeville. Why don't you try it? And I went there in this old place built probably in the 50s. And it was just this old place. I'm like, I went from Oxnard, big hospital with the doorknobs dirty. They replaced the door. And I went to psych where, there's a lot less money. There's a lot less resources. We have, borrow from Peter to pay Paul. You've heard that saying, and there's not a lot of support in psychiatry. And I don't understand why, because it's killing people every single day. I don't understand why there's not more support in psychiatry, because it's a deadly illness. Mental illness is. Did I answer your question?
Yes. Do you feel like there's more conversation about ghosting now? I don't hear it.
Ghosting is. I don't really understand the question you're asking me, but.
Is it more? Are people more informed about it? Is it more?
No, I know. But that's why I wanted to make this part of today, is because if you're currently ghosted, or if you're ghosting someone, stop.
Yeah, it's like the cancel
Stop.
culture in your family.
You've been told to stop. Stop. Pick up the phone, call them. Say, I'm sorry, I don't want to talk to you, but I want to let you know that I'm here anyway. If you're being ghosted, write them a letter and say, I understand you want to talk to me and you ghost me. I get that, but I just don't want to be part of that. Ghosting limits conversation. It limits communication. And when you limit communication, bad things happen. In any part of life, you go to work, they tell you turn the right doorknob instead of the left, and you turn the left because you weren't told. Communication. It's got to be, especially within family units. Anybody else?
There's a national suicide number, 988, that's all across the nation. And so make sure that people who are suffering know about that. We have a warm line here in San Antonio. There's several places that can get help. Texas is not the best state to have mental illness because we don't have enough funding. We don't have enough psychiatrists.
Like I said, it's not.
It's like 47 or 48.
It's not. I don't understand that. I really don't. It just dumbfounds me how little goes into mental illness these days.
Well, and drugs and alcohol run rampant in a society that lacks mental health resources that are readily available to everyone equally. Then you start to have drugs and alcohol and
Self-medicate.
self-medicate. That's right. So, did you want to talk a little bit about your dreams?
Oh, I was talking to your pastor Joe about those, and I'm going to say I don't know how much time we have left. Or okay, look, I'm going to just go talk about two. I have many of them. Has anybody ever had what they call a lucid dream, where you know that you're dreaming? Okay, I'm going to call it a dream. I'm going to call these dreams. But in all honesty, to be perfectly honest with you, standing here in God's house, I don't know what they are. There's something different. Maybe it's my mind healing itself. Maybe it's the spiritual side guiding me. I don't know. But all I know is that it sounds a little crazy, but that person sitting right there can tell you, beyond a shadow of a doubt, that it wasn't, they weren't accidents. I was talking about Pastor Joe earlier. I was having this dream, but my son was sitting in the floor of this home, and he was pointing his finger, and he was laughing. I said, "Oh, Liam, it's so glad to see you. I've missed you so much." I said, "What are you laughing at?" And there was a baby carrier, and the ones you hook up into the back of the baby seat. And I woke up, and I told Vicki about it. She was home that day. I called my daughter on speakerphone. I said, "Jordan, you won't believe what I had a dream about Liam. It's one of a baby carrier." And she's kind of paused for a little bit, and she says, "Dad, I'm at Walgreens looking for a pregnancy test." 4 days later, my daughter was pregnant with my grandchild. When we went to look for my son's headstone, we went to the first place. Guy came out. We don't have any stones to use, but if you can pick out one of these stones here that don't have any writing on it, you're welcome to use it. Well, I had envisioned the kind of stone I wanted. We got out there. I found the stone, had nothing on it. The only stone in the entire area, remember, was the only stone that had nothing on it. And I said, "That's what I want for my son." And Vicki, I didn't notice it. Vicki noticed it. Vicki said, "Look, Harlan, look beside the stone." I said, "What?" I looked beside the stone. It was my father's name, spelled with a Y, Ronnie, R-O-N-N-Y. And I was just so shocked because that same day, because of Liam's suicide, I was worried about his spirit. As a Baptist, I had been trained that if you take your life, you go straight to hell and all this kind of stuff. Actually, I've never found anything in the Bible that indicated that. But I was worried about his spirit. I was worried about that. And it was almost like my father saying, "Don't worry, we have him." Because what are the chances that Ronnie would be the only stone at the first place we went out of hundreds of thousands of names? What do you think the chances of that are? Should have played the lottery that day, huh? Yeah, that's what I felt like. I've had many of these things, and I don't know what they are, but I can describe how I feel when I come out of them. It's like I'm waking up out of a warm bath. Isn't that weird? Like I feel like this warmth, and I wake up, and it's like, and I have a great day the rest of the day. They're healing for me. They're healing for me. I've had many of them, but what's important is the life that Liam lived of humility and the lives that Liam saved even in his death. I still haven't met everybody yet. I've only met 2, but what y'all have done for Robynn is amazing. How much support y'all have given her is I can't believe it. I've never seen that, a church support someone so much as y'all have all supported Robynn. That's why I was so honored when they all asked me to come talk, and I'm like, man, I got to go there. You know, if there's one place I got to go there. So I hope I haven't taken up too much of y'all's time, but if you have family members that have secrets, stop.
I'm going to ask a favor, actually. If you can't get towards Harlan, you stay in your seat and just raise your hands. But if you can stand, can we put hands on Harlan while Pastor Joe prays for him?
Oh, I'll stand over here. Or maybe I need to get out here. Yeah, okay.
Thank you for being
Yes, ma'am. All right. Thank you.
Vicki, why don't you come up as well?
Hey, Vicki, can you come here, Vicki?
I'll transfer your energy.
Come here. Come here.
I'm sorry.
We're running out of space.
Well, I just met Harlan and Vicki this morning, and we had a little bit of a conversation. To tell the truth, I was a little nervous about today because I felt like I was being presumptuous to have Harlan come and share. And the more that I've gotten to know him in the last several hours, we're blessed. And we've been blessed by Robynn, and we went through some difficult times, and come along beside her and watching her get better and go through dialysis and then plummet. And sometimes I didn't know where she was going to be the next time I went into the hospital from the night before. And we were so excited when we heard that there was a liver. But the reality of that is that, you can't share livers. Like, here, take half of mine. And the reality was that someone had to die for her to have a liver transplant. And then when I read the letter that you had sent to her, and my thought was, wouldn't that be a great thing to bring some closure, to bring some connection to Keys, because we've been praying for Robynn. And then I began to second guess that. My whole flight home yesterday, I think, did we do the right thing? And I'm convinced that we did the right thing after our conversation today.
I'm just, it's back. No, it's not that. I know I'm safe. No. I'm thankful that there's surrounded by so many people who have faith and who have God in them. It's hard to find that these days. But thank y'all for inviting me. I'm so honored to be here.
Thank you for being here. Thank you for being honest. Did you share what you're going through yet?
No. No, you can, if you like.
Apparently,
Yes.
Need a prayer?
Vicki has had some bad news or diagnosis, and she's dealing with cancer. And we prayed with her this morning. I prayed with her and Harlan in my office today. So that's added things that are coming into their lives. And we certainly want to be praying for her as we have become aware of it. So let me pray, and then we'll share in our meal together. Father, we are thankful for just the way that you made and created the human body. and that there is ability for healing. And we do lift Vicki up to you and pray for your healing touch in her life. But we are also thankful that when someone dies, the organs are available to give life. And we're thankful that as a result of Liam's boldness to become a donor, that we have been able to walk with Robynn. And we're thankful for how she is progressing. And even though this is an awkward moment in our lives as we stand here together, we are so thankful for how you are an awesome God, and how you come along beside us, and how you provide opportunities to see you working in and through individuals. We're thankful for the opportunity that we've had to walk with Robynn, and now to have met Harlan and Vicki. We pray that you would continue to walk with them and to bring about your presence and peace in their lives. Where there's healing need, pray that you would bring about that healing. Where there's emotional need, bring about that healing. And I pray that your peace that passes all understanding would guard our hearts and our lives through Jesus Christ. And I pray for Harlan and Vicki that you would lead them to the right place of fellowship in their hometown. That you would bring people of faith around them. That you would provide a place for them where they can be encouraged, where they can grow in their understanding and knowledge and experience of a relationship with you. Thank you that we are in this together as the body of Christ. And I pray that the extended body of Christ would be a place where Harlan would experience continual growth and understanding of your love for him, as well as Vicki. Thank you for what we've experienced today. Thank you for how you reach into our hearts and lives through personal testimonies. And we're thankful that we have had this opportunity to learn of your goodness and your grace. And I pray that you would take us away from here changed. Take us away from here motivated. Take us away from here knowing your grace and your peace in our lives. We're thankful for our time together. We pray that you be with us around these tables as we fellowship together over the meal. We ask your blessing on the food that we will share together. Thank you for those who have prepared it, those that will serve it, and give us sweet fellowship as we enjoy our lunch together. In Jesus' name.
Amen.
Amen. Sorry, babe.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank
Yeah.
you, sir.
Oh, yeah, thank you. Appreciate it. It's such an honor to be here.
Yes, thank you.
I know that we'll pray for you.
Thank you very much for sharing.
I hope it's okay. Hope I didn't overdo it. So I'm so full of stuff right now.
It was warm, so I said,
Mandeville?
when you said Mandeville.
You're from Mandeville,
I
or?
lived in New Orleans for 30 years.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
And
Louisiana girls, huh?
and Gary lived in Baton Rouge, Virginia.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
I have a nephew whose family lives in Mandeville.
Oh, okay. All right.
Steve Watson. I lost my niece, his wife, when she was 50 of breast cancer. And he's and his boys
Yeah.
there. So
Yeah, we've been through a lot lately. Yeah. But yeah, it's a small world.
it is.
It is a small world, you know? Yeah.
Thank you so much for saying something about the bad theology is what I would call it.
Bad theology?
The bad theology of believing that if a person commits suicide, they're going straight.
That's just wrong.
I just don't believe that meshes with a
It
God's
doesn't
grace.
say anything in the Bible
Right.
about it. I think that's just one of those religious things that we get taught. I was Southern Baptist, and that was they handed you a Bible that was on fire.
The Roman
You know,
Catholic Church, has a real
cancel
strong
culture is
tradition of
bad,
that too. I mean,
Yeah.
it's not just Baptists. It's a
the
lot.
problem is I just don't see it said anywhere.
I think it's
Well, it's not helpful certainly for the surviving family and friends. It's
No.
not helpful at all.
Yeah, bad information is bad
I was going
information.
to ask you a question about the theology, so I'm glad you brought it up.
Yeah, because there's so many people that suffer what they've been taught, believing that their loved ones are
Yes,
doomed
that
to
they're
the
never
lake
gonna
of
see them
fire,
again.
and
That's right. Yeah.
and it's just not true.
Right. Our daughter is a psychiatric nurse. She's a nurse practitioner. So she works in the hospitals here.
yeah, that's right.
A lot of different ages, a lot of different situations. But she doesn't work in is an outpatient clinic. So
Now, this is a hospital. These are all inpatients. Yeah. Oh, I'm
Right,
sorry.
yeah.
I'm still
You're
talking.
fine. I'm gonna stop the live stream now. Thanks. Sorry. No one wants to take a quick picture.
This is not just for Robynn. We have a circle. It's a crocheted circle. We pray, we all make, they're all handmade shawls. We pray over them. And I would circle 5, First Presbyterian, and Robynn. And it just happens to be her shawl. Oh, so I don't know how I lucked out on that one. It was good, but I wanted to take it out to do something.
He's one of my East Texas friends. They came from Slidell.
Oh, my grandparents were rice farmers in
We could turn this off.
Yeah,
Thank you. Thank you. It means a lot. Hang on. I'm going to be right back. Thanks, guys, for coming.
We're here for you, Robynn.
Thank you.
so what do you